Alright, today we're going to cover the United Airlines Polaris class. This is the business/first class flight across the United States. I'll be covering the takeoff to landing experience, the ticket purchase cost, and would I do it again? Because that's what probably matters most. The flight would start right out there in New Jersey/New York, same area, and then fly all the way across the nation to San Francisco, California. I would be flying on a Boeing 777-300ER. ER stands for Extended Range, if you didn't know, not to be confused with LR, which stands for Long Range. Crazy, I know. By the way, the 777-300ER is powered by two General Electric GE90-115B jet engines, the world's most powerful airline engine. Pretty impressive. Each can deliver a world record 127,900 pounds of thrust, so you'll be getting where you're going. So let's get on board. Now wait, unfortunately there would be a delay of about 30 minutes. It was a little annoying. Lots of people jammed up at the airport. It's not at a great place in the terminal, kind of in the corner, so you got like hundreds of people standing around in the wrong lines, and it gets a little hectic. Also, a bit confusing for me is that we had a bunch of people, I don't know, maybe dozens of people that were the 1K club, and they were boarding before I was. And I thought, well, this is a little odd. I thought the ticket involved priority boarding. Anyway, we're finally about to get on the plane, and that's what it's all about. Time to talk about the seat, because honestly, this is where your money is mainly going. Lie flat seat, pretty big, has enough room for most people. And if you look around, it's got some decent privacy, which is pretty nice. You kind of feel you're in your own little world. Looking around, yeah, I like it. I think it works perfectly fine for me and is a pretty good value. Entertainment system is pretty big, and it comes with an amenity kit, of course, cushion, pillow, and a little blanket. Not too thick, but I guess it gets the job done okay. Got a tray table that comes out and then kind of comes at an angle and opens up. I found it was fine, plenty of space. And when you're done with it, of course, tuck it right back in and you're fine. This was a little interesting, little cubby hole there, and it can fit maybe your amenity kit, your mask, and underneath you got room for some decent storage. Now this is an interesting thing. It has little buttons. They don't work terribly well, but again, they do work. It's just a little bit slow moving the seat. Above, decent cool air. I like that. The cabin was a cool temperature. And the left side actually goes nowhere. You can't even point it towards yourself, and it doesn't even go towards another seat. This was interesting. I thought it was HAL 9000, but it turns out it's a light and even can be rotated, which is kind of fun. It comes with a little pair of headphones. They're not terribly great. They're a little cheap and plasticky. And of course, your complimentary water, which I find is kind of an incredible waste. I like that box water idea Alaska uses. So. An amenity kit, which we'll talk about in a bit. Oh, a little cubby hole in the side, I guess. And a place to hang your coat. I like the little nightlight on the left. Yeah, and of course, above you got your storage space, which was okay. I had some room for my bag. Yeah, it fills up kind of quickly even in business class. And there you go, that's the seat with two windows to look out, and if you do, you can kind of see other planes getting ready. As for the amenity kit, not bad. Some people like these. I actually found the socks useful. I wore them. And the face mask, the quality just isn't high enough. That is kind of a waste. They throw in a pen, but I already have a pen. But let's go through each item and see what we have here. So again, the face mask is kind of cheap quality. You're better off buying a silk one if that's something you like to use. But if you forgot one, don't have one, it can work. The earplugs, I always love to have earplugs that I carry them with me. Tissues, that was actually kind of a cool addition. I like the tissue pack and I'm keeping that. We have a sanitary wipe, nice to have in this day and age. We got some face cream, a little tiny toothpaste, which is good for maybe one or two brushings, kind of a waste. Lip balm, I'm keeping that, that's pretty nice. Hand cream, I like to have that. The socks, again, I use the socks. The toothbrush, decent quality, but again, I already travel with something like that. And the pen, great to have, although again, after traveling this a few times, I already have too many of these items. And after those delays, we have some taxiing. little more taxiing to the main runway, and finally we are in motion for takeoff. You can get an idea that it is a pretty loud experience, and we'll speed this up. It's your boilerplate taking off into the clear dark yonder. Now let's check out this decently sized entertainment system. Once again, you do have to use their headphones due to a proprietary, like that double plug, which is annoying, but I have Bluetooth headphones anyway, so it doesn't matter to me, I guess. Have to use them. Of course, you have lots of nice information presented to you, as well as the map of where you're at, where your little plane is going, and more information. Of course, internet is for purchase only, annoying on business class. And I tried out a couple movies, Crime Macho, got about 10 minutes in, not for me. The remote control, most of the time I never use these things, but when you're kind of far away from the touchscreen, you have to. And these, once you get used to it, come in handy. I had this in my hand and I was able to traverse all the menus, so I liked having that. And yeah, they have a decent selection of movies, new movies in the theater, some TV shows. Again, I don't make much use of these things, but if you do, yeah, I would say they have a good amount of movies to choose from. So why not check it out and see if something fits. For the meal, I chose the Thai chicken, which was a little bland. However, you do get real silverware and a very nice napkin. That part I liked. It was no better than a TV dinner, I would say. The salad was okay. You get some bread, and overall, I would say it's not worth a lot of money. Again, no better than a TV dinner. With the salad and the dressing, that was actually the best part of the meal. The bread was pretty bland, nothing special. And I did like the IPA, although they didn't make it, but they selected it, and the flight attendants asked if I wanted another one. I said, of course I want another one. The cheesecake I actually took home. Okay, so they didn't make it, but... So yeah, I would say that it's nice to have the food delivered, but it's certainly not anything special. For bathrooms, there are two up front that were never crowded. Always found one, and it was a good size. The faucet has little buttons to get you hot water, which worked very well. And there were creams, but everyone touches it, so I did not. Alas, I wasn't able to get any footage of the seat turning into a bed, but it did. And again, those controls, very slow to get it moving. I would say this is what you pay the money for, turning that seat into a bed, getting to lie back, have a beer, and watch TV. Finally, 6 hours and 10 minutes later, we were landing in San Francisco. I'd say the time goes by pretty fast when you're lying in a bed. Kind of a bumpy landing. Horrible, I guess. Pretty standard. And there you go. That was my flight from Newark, or basically New York, to San Francisco, and I enjoyed it. As for the ticket, well, it happened on March 6th, 2022, so it could be different depending on the time you're watching it. The flight was from Newark, New Jersey, basically New York City, to San Francisco, California, and the total I found was $498.60. I can't even find that price right now as I edit this. So what does this ticket normally cost? Well, you could pay up to $2,000, $2,100. I would never do that, ever. But it goes down to $590 right now, I see, and that even can be found cheaper. Different times. If you wanted to go with miles, 59,000 miles I see on one day, plus $5, 60 cents, that's fine. And you know, it just kind of varies as it goes up to 100,000 miles, 120,000 miles. No, we never want to spend that much on it. But that was April 23rd, 2020. Well, actually April 24th, but okay. And now I can see that, all right, hey, 50,000 miles, I would do that maybe, but when you see 10,000 for economy, you think, man, 5 flights to New York, that's so much cheaper. So you just kind of have to look at it and say, what's it worth? How many miles do I have? Do I want to pay cash? Different ways to mix and match. Just something to think about. Okay, there you have it. Those are my insights of the flight I had from Newark to San Francisco on Polaris. First class / business class. Would I do it again? Yeah, I would think for that price, especially if I found it any under 500, yes. Over 500, probably not. And I probably wouldn't spend that many miles either. So you know, if you've got the miles, definitely do it. If you could find that price for under 500, then yeah, I think it's worth trying out. I wouldn't do it all the time, but once in a while, it was pretty fun. Just don't expect a lot for the food. Again, you're paying for that seat. So there you go.